Very good afternoon from Germany, good evening in India, and good day wherever else you are in the world. This is Arunava Chaudhuri. It's a Tuesday. It's the 13th of January 2026. It's another Indian football discussion on my channel, Arunfoot. And at the start, as I always like to start off with, do like the video if you like the conversations we have on this channel on a regular basis. Share it with other people as well. And of course, if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel as well. We crossed to 3,700 mark yesterday. So we're slowly growing. Do help us to grow further. Let us, as early as possible, reach the 4,000 mark and then the 5,000 and more. And let's keep growing the Arunfoot community. And as always, watch also the daily videos that I try to make on Indian football topics, or even sometimes on international football. So do watch those videos as well, as thank you for your support. And at the start, let me take on points that Renil has made. Now, is it true that the copy-paste won't work? Like, India has to do stuff in its own ways with our own realities. This copying some nations' things and pasting doesn't work, right? Like we randomly copying a German model or Japanese model and applying them straight into the ecosystem of the local realities will not lead to anything, right? Renal, 100%, totally agree with you, that if we try and copy XYZ model, you speak about the Japanese or the German model, it doesn't matter. It could be the Spanish, maybe Brazilian, maybe Argentinian, it doesn't matter, no. And it's to me, also when we try and copy models, we will in an Indian, typical Indian fashion, we'll try to do jugaad, and it doesn't work. We need to develop it ourselves, so let's see what happens, and how we can move forward. And therefore, those are the realities. So therefore, no copy pasting for me. We need to develop our own Indian football model, which a lot of people don't really want to understand. And we are at the moment at the crossroads of sort of development at the top level. So let's see what happens, at the top. Good evening, Siddharth, and thank you very, very much for the 40 rupees that you are putting into Arunfoot. Thanks a lot for your support, not only you and the others as well. Those of you who want to, again, become members of Arunfoot here and help as well. And thanks a lot, as always, for your support. Thanks, Siddharth. It means a lot. Hi, Ashish. Kaise ho aap? Ashish, I'm good. It's much, much warmer. It's 7-8 degrees plus. No, at the moment showing it's 6 degrees plus now, but it was 7-8 degrees outside. So after all this minus 10, minus 12, plus degrees are quite nice to have and to feel, and rather than the cold, so I'm okay. And it seems to be there are some movements, hopefully in the right direction, and that helps us, so to say. But again, it is. It's as an Indian football fan, I am, I will be worried, and hopefully things move in the right direction. But again, the worry in me hasn't died down in any way. And therefore, so let's see where it goes. Will there be more than one match simultaneously? Prasad, from what I understand, no. From what I understand, there won't be. And sorry, Yuvraj, hey, I'm good. After today's development, can we, as Arsenal fans, be more hopeful? Let's wait and see what really happens. Again, a lot of things have been happening, are happening. Again, let's see where this goes. The plan currently is to run the league from the 14th of February to the 17th of May. So it's about a 3-month league with an extended break in March for India's FIFA commitments. And as per other plans, it looks like that they're trying to do a Thursday to Sunday match or match window. So they're not going to follow the ISL model of saying, hey, listen, let's play 6 out of 7 days a week. The idea is to have on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays double headers. And, so therefore for me, let's wait and see. Idea is good, but again, it is a good idea. On the other side, I have always been, even though I wasn't a fan of it at the start, I'll be honest, 6 out of 7 days of having a match gives you a lot of more interaction possibilities. And again, So that's why let's wait and see what comes out of what is being discussed at the moment. Dada, what's your opinion on implementing relegation this season? It feels unfair for this season. Shivam, I don't think relegation should be a topic this season. I agree. I think relegation is out of the topic. Uh, uh, you know, you know. Uh, um. So therefore, that's it. To me, if you ask me, relegation is something that we need to talk about. Yes, surely, clearly, it's something that needs to be spoken about. Uh, and yeah, it is. It is. It is something. As with everything else, I'm interested to see how this works out. Off the topic, the reason why Chancellor Merch has all this social media buzz because of him and Prem Voti picked in an open jeep with black glasses, and Chancellor Merch had his hand waving in the end salute angle. Is it? No. Then people don't know what the end salute is. It seems like Arunava had a lot of meetings with remaining OFC member before taking the decision. I think it would be great if we use the AIFF and Sports Ministry to pressurize the Odisha government. Aditya, that's the hope that, again, a lot of these entities, the six club, not forget the six club. I think most clubs are playing on the trust on the sports ministry, right? And I think, so therefore, for me, let's wait and see what happens. For me, it seems like, let's see if the sports ministry itself can convince states to reduce or even waive off stadium costs. So, amongst other things, let's see. Santosh Trophy needs to be transformed as a U20 competition, otherwise it really doesn't make any impact. Shivam, we have an under 20 state tournament, right? So, I don't know. India Cup, Ashish, no idea. There are plans, but it depends on work. And every club paid the fees. Prashad, as far as I don't know. Again, the question of fees is not even been discussed at the moment. I think they have just wanted everybody to play. I think in concept info for upcoming few years, if SAF Club Championship happens, it will play a crucial role in our football. With thoughts on the same, sir. Siddharth, I don't bother about this club, SAF Club Championship, because I've been hearing this for the last 16, 17 years. Or no, 17, 18 years, I should be saying. We're in 2026. I don't, and again, with the political tensions that India has with its neighbors, I don't even know if our neighbors want to play us, right? So therefore, that's another thing. It's good SAF has started futsal. I think AIFF should introduce club futsal tournament also on state level. The job of the club football futsal tournament at state level is not the job of the AIFF. It's of the state associations. And there is a national futsal championship, which is more a tournament than a league. Again, it all needs time, and all of this costs money. And the question is, does the AIFF have money? So do you think it's wise from Intercash FC to have home stadium with all these uncertainties? Yuvraj, I think so therefore for me, I think it's a good step. It shows them that they're committed to the game, because a lot of questions, of course, have been coming up and saying, hey, listen, yes, the club is called Interkashi. Yes, it is from Kashi, it is from UP, but de facto it's operating out of Kolkata, right? So therefore, for me, to commit to building something in Kashi, also realizing that the government is not doing what you need to do, that is another problem, right? So from that perspective, I think it's a good step. So let's wait and see what happens with that. So what happened to Delhi FC relegation case and SC Bangalore CAS appeal? The SC Bangalore CAS appeal is gone because SC Bangalore didn't pay the fees to move forward with the case. So that has been quashed. And Delhi FC relegation stands because Kalyan Chaubey said it's an 11-team league with 55 matches, meaning, if Interkashi is promoted, 2 teams are up, 2 teams are down, meaning that the 12-team league becomes 11-team league. Can't AIFF decide if relegation should be implemented or not? Why are they going to Supreme Court? Prasad, they're going for everything Supreme Court because they want to be sure. Again, it is. I think the Supreme Court doesn't even want to be involved in all these matters, but they're being involved by the AIFF in these matters. So it's yeah. So therefore, we'll have to wait and see. But to me, if you ask me, no, it doesn't make sense. At the moment, I think this season relegation doesn't make sense. Dada, I just want the last match they're falling at the same time. It seems such a thrilling moment. Shivam, I don't see that happening. I think there might be, depending on what the constellations in the league table are. But again, we've not seen in Indian football matches being played simultaneously, also due to broadcast interests. Yesterday, German X account, political meme type, 950,000 followers, posted me with more than 1 million interactions. Yuvraj, again, it's a meme account. Mohun Began and East Began have Began ka bharta and still not having a future planning. Shivam, that's the thing, no? They're still working on their squads this season and not realizing is that they need to do something for the long term. And that's where, again, Kolkata football has been, so therefore, let's wait and see what happens. But this is last year, I League champions and futsal champions are UP based. Interesting, Yuvraj. Sir, in today's sports summit, the race discussion about PAOC players, what is your thoughts on it? We can see this happening early as possible. I don't know which sports summit they raised the topic. I know that the topic has been raised, but nothing has happened so far, right? Why I-League 2 and 3 is getting merged, that doesn't make any sense. Shivam, reducing costs. So therefore, for me, it's a cost reduction for this season. Nothing more, nothing less. Recently, a Dutch-based sports, mostly football journalist, in his YouTube talk was mocking India, saying India doesn't play any football. Going winter, no winters, athletes, and poor performance across sports. Gina and I, who cares what a Dutch journalist is talking about Indian football? Indians don't know about Indian football. So why do you care about people talking about these things? Again, I hit the source AIFF forming 2 committees to observe the league. Can you explain about what other committees work on this season? I don't know what committees you're talking about that the AIFF is forming. Again, there is a league council that they're forming for the ISL. I guess they're going to form a league council as well for the I-League. If you're talking about that, that is your committees, if you mean that. People justify still have a poor resource and development. That's why we struggle in football. Your opinion? No. Murali, I've said this 1,000 times. I will repeat. There is not a lack of money in the system. It's about using that money smartly, cleverly in our system. The ref sports giving OCI lollipop hope again. X9P, then don't fall for it. Guys, don't fall for it, right? You know now better. As I say, let's focus on the things that we can discuss and talk about and think that we can improve and make better, rather than, again, we talk again and again about the same things and the same issues and same problems. Man, if you can say once 8 months, you will surely go into depression too soon. Shivam, yeah, that's the point, right? Again, there are a lot of people who say a lot of things. And again, the way that Indian football is run, we don't have anything to defend. Indian football is badly organized and managed, period. Nothing more, nothing less. Salah, Mane, Osimhen become world class not because of system, individual. Yes, right, yes. All of them have become what they are because, again, be it Osimhen, Nigeria, Mane, Senegal, or Salah, Egypt, they work their hard way up. You forget even them, even at our level, Sunil Chetri, Baichung Bhutia came to what they became, what they are because of their own hard work and dedication. As yet that finally East Bengal has been starting to make residential camp with a few training grounds at Newton, Shapoji, and a 5-acre land. Yeah, I've heard about it. If it's true, that's lovely. But again, is 5 acres really multiple training grounds? I don't know. So therefore, it would be nice if there is some proper reporting on it. And the next time I'm in Kolkata, maybe I can go and visit it myself. Has Egypt was a level player like Salah? Yeah, they have. No? If you Omar Mamouche at Man City, before that at Eintracht Frankfurt, Egypt has produced good quality players. Mohamed Salah is most probably the best that they've ever produced, right? So what about broadcasting when the day to conduct commercial partners and broadcasting partners? Sachin, forget broadcasting. Broadcasting this season, at the moment, as it looks like, is DD Sports is your best bet as broadcasting, and maybe you find a partner for your streaming. You know, worst case, do it AFF I League. Sorry, AFF Indian Football YouTube channel, and the rest we have to wait and see. So therefore, commercial partner, I don't see anyone coming forward. But again, let's wait and see what happens. AFF committee looks good as a club owner, or maybe CEO also include as members. Yeah, but again, if I see how this whole league has been jumbled up together, do you think it's good that these guys are now sitting there trying to work it out? Again, I have more questions than answers at the moment. People are going into an Indian Super League season where 70% of things are not sorted. That would be my concern. If I am running a club, if I'm the CEO of a club, um, that's a question to have, and that is forget the question. That's more of a and let's see. So therefore, let's see. We're good. So do you think clubs will sign foreigners with the current financial situation of the clubs? So that there will be some. Again, as debated, East Bengal is already looking for a replacement, at least for one striker, if not for two. But some look to be that they might be playing with 3 or 4 foreigners, and some will play without foreigners at all. Even though there are people are saying, hey, listen, the XYZ club still has actually a foreigner on the books. Many times in I League, they have waived off relegation. AFF wanted leveraged, turned the relegation to beg for no relegation, and AFF asked for to give us 3 crores as franchise fee. Where does this come from, Gina and I? Where does this protection money idea come from? There were other reasons why at certain stages relegation was not not done. So I don't know. It's big and all that stuff. I don't know where you get these ideas from. Sorry. Will they ever be able to manage travel costs now, as many clubs have requested to play at the home matches? I don't know. The travel cost is not on the AFF. Why should it be on the AFF? The AFF has said, listen, we'll just organize the league. The AFF is not bothered about travel costs and other things. The travel cost is on the respective clubs. As you know, government will not give OCA, that is not fall for it. Maybe before it was a bit. Let's see, X9P. How can you differentiate between football development and gimmick because people are naive? Murali, again, look at it, think about it. Just use I always say use common sense. Use your brains, use your common sense, and then you'll understand. Good evening, Anish. Welcome back. Xabi Alonso getting sacked before Khalid Jamil is awkward at multiple levels. Yuvraj, but it was coming, right? If you look at what I've heard since yesterday, and again, the sacking of Khalid Jamil, the sacking of Khalid Jamil saying, the sacking of Xabi Alonso happened yesterday during the live, and if you see when I hear this, and I go onto a Google, not Google, I go onto the Real Madrid website and check, and then there's an official statement, and yeah, if to say I was surprised would be wrong. I was shocked. But again, if you listen to what has happened at Real Madrid, then you realize that Xabi Alonso was set up to fail. Because again, it's very interesting to see that a club like Real Madrid, one of the biggest entities, maybe the biggest footballing club in the world, that the way they're structured and the power of the players, and again saying, hey, listen, we've won so many Champions Leagues, hey, why do we want to change things? Right? But let it be, right? Where they've fired a nutritionist late last year because she wanted to change things and people didn't want to change. That is dangerous. Because if at some stage, if Real Madrid stops winning things and moves into a situation like, let's say, a Man United, and I think Man United is in that sort of picture, and so therefore for me, I don't know. It's very sad to see, but yeah, let's see what happens. Is Mo Salah the best African player ever? Debate. Yuvraj, is always difficult to say if he was, if he's not, if someone else was. Like generally in the world, he surely is amongst the best Africans. Is he the best? I wouldn't be able to tell you, to be honest. So Ray said to your life is not money. If Indian player have hunger, they succeed. So many black people from poverty reach highest level in football without money support from federation, etc. Yeah, X9P, I said that. Yeah, you said it, but I've said it also. No. So will the asset manager company be open to membership for likes of Valanka and other Exco members? No, how can Valanka be open come into it? I don't know. Her club is not there. No? If Churchill Brothers is in there, then she could be part of it. So I don't know. Casey again will be part of ISL committee, unfortunately. Not again, he will be. No? The last one, he wasn't. Yaya Toure, in my opinion, says Shivam, even JJ Okocha. Um, Again, that's what I'm saying. There are so many players that we could discuss in regard to being the best. I don't know if JJ joins the discussion of being the best African, but yeah. Has Mahara progression surprised you a lot over the years, defeating bigger teams in Europe? No, morally. If you see how they've worked, I wouldn't say no. It is unfair David not getting chance in national team as Dinda, Irfan, Gidwat is a height advantage. Is he again? My question would be: Is David national team material? Ask ask yourself that. It's not about height; it's about class. How many minutes has the guy played? Yes, you'll say, "Oh, he scored goals." Okay, right. So for me, no, it's not a height advantage. Irfan Yadwad is. I mean, I saw him at Bangalore United. What was it 3 years back? 3 years back? 3 years back, I think. And yeah. So I don't know. Someone taking back to 2016-19 Indian football era. Yeah, Siddharth, that was, if you look at it now, with all issues and problems, so therefore for me, you know, it is something which is there, and at the time, with of course you had, you know, to me it's very very clear that at that time under Stephen, a team was building, right? So yeah. Why do you guys troll Nuna so much? You achieved a lot as a player and as a human. You're just using a keyword here, man. Especially everyone to build national. It's not easy. Yes, so that. So East Bengal fans account on anything saying Takashi is bigger because they say from away pitches is unaware they don't have proper home football stadium. X9P, why do you, as I say, again, there is going to be trolling, they're going to be this, they're going to be that. For me, it doesn't matter. Why again, and these conversations would not arise if you don't react. Right? It's like this whole Joe Morrison thing about me. I didn't react. Again, fine. But I now know the good thing about these kind of things is then because a lot of people contacted me. I know who are my friends, who are in touch, who have a opinion here and there. So therefore don't react to these things. Let people say what they want. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. So if you react to those kind of things, then it is your mistake, right? And that's the problem. So let's see. Losing and winning part of the match. What happened, Javelons? Are you surprised? End of the result matter. We should not have realistic target. It is again. If you said to me yesterday his firing was a surprise, yes, it was. If I think about it, if I look at it, then to me it's not surprising because there is too much wrong at Real Madrid at the club, starting with Florentino Perez and the way he runs the club, right? So therefore, if I add up all of those things, then it is logical at some stage that yes, he could get fired. So that's the thing. Matches on Thursday to Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, double header, 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Yeah, Paulus, that's the plan. Dada, do you think the AIFF clubs can actually pull it off? Paulus, they pull it off, yes. What will be the quality? That's going to be the question. Again, some kind of league will now happen. But again, what is the quality of the ground? How well are the teams prepared? How well are the players prepared? How is everything ready? That is going to be the test to me, right? So if Klopp become Real Madrid coach, going to make me feel extremely bad. Shivam, let's wait and see. Again, he has a very interesting role at Red Bull Global. and let's see what happens. But you never know. Will ISL club sign, for example, Shan who played? No, Joshua. I don't see that happening at the moment. Irfan Yadav was slipping around. Yeah, XNP, but he's better than the others, no? Still slipping. So, like Marcus said, there will be 2 independent members who also be part of the management committee. So, does this include EXCO members or people totally off from AIFF? I would think independent members means outside of the AIFF. Klopp has clarified the news of him joining is far from true. Yuvraj, he was live on an Austrian channel last night, and I've watched the clip. He was on Servus TV, and he clearly stated at the moment it is uninteresting. But again, you never know what happens in the summer. If Real Madrid get on, are after him, who knows, right? Because Real Madrid is, again, one of those clubs. And if Jurgen Klopp wants to coach, I think that Real Madrid would be one of the few clubs, besides the German national team role, that he could be interested in. Do India never able to replace the shoes of tennis star like Sania? Not Sania, Sania. Sania Mirza and Nyanda Pace on the side home right now. Very sad. Yeah. Murali. Fine hockey league beginning. Yeah, but Murray, no one is interested. I was watching today a podcast from someone with and with the and it was called what is it called? Hockey India League will not survive like this. So there are certain realities. If you or I and we are talking about things that their sports is So let's see. So my perspective, Casey will be part of this ISL committee. He is part of it. The AIFF president is part of it. So why having a discussion X9P? He's part of that committee. Yes, sir, be positive as so hate. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Don't, as I've said to you, be critical. So therefore for me, sometimes really detox from social media I think is good. Do you think power and money change person, especially when it comes to weapon hunger of player? Can't generalize. With a lot it will be, but sometimes it's not. Being a celebrity in a country is like God, but if we see this as this is the most toughest thing in India. Yeah. Who will like to bring Osepra India? Rushwa, there is no one bringing anyone at the moment. Because, again, at the moment, it's about the league happening, right? And what's the point of bringing someone for 3 months? Doesn't change the situation. Now, please bring the ISL News Governing Council Management Committee. So what I understand, where we stand at this moment in time with the Governing Council, right? The Governing Council will have the AIFF president, the Secretary General or the General Secretary General, in this case, Deputy Secretary General, the Vice President and Treasurer, and a member from each club, 2 independent members, and 3 representatives who will be from the rights holders, meaning either commercial or broadcasters. And simple majority of the members will decide on things. And the AIFF members have double vote, so that's the setup of it at the moment, that they're trying to build it. Let's see if it works. We may beggars when it comes to stadium. I wish PFC was treated the same way, but when it comes to winning a national title since a decade, we surely can give some to some fans. Yeah, right. But again, I wouldn't bother about it, right? I think in the short span of time, Inter Kashi has achieved a lot. There is internal rift among Real Madrid, Xabi tenure in Leverkusen and Real Madrid. How do you summarize? Well, only rift I don't know if there's a rift in Real Madrid. I think there is a problem of player power, and it's about managing the players. And if the players want to really be better, and to me, so therefore for me, to me, at Bayer Leverkusen, he created an exceptional team with exceptional talent. Look at players like Flo Wirtz, Granit Xhaka. When he left Arsenal, I think a lot of people said Xhaka is done. Jonathan Tah looked like a done player 2-3 years ago. Now look at him in Leverkusen last couple of seasons. Now look at him at Bayern Munich. Look at him for Germany. They've had a lot of players like Grimaldo, Frimpong, so therefore a lot of players who have under him developed. So let's see. Bangladesh bring Manchester United player. Okay, Rushwa. So now, in today's Times of India newspaper, the sports section reported the government has directed National Sports Federation to include OCI players in select sports like football and swimming. Okay. How is that going to happen, Kamath? Again, without legislation change, how's that going to happen? One final, AIFF brought proper clarity on ISL. Too good to see women team deserving sponsored by Coca-Cola 3. At least now we have camp and 3 for quality friendlies for women team. Shwanlata, the women team has not gotten a sponsor. Look at my video from yesterday where I explain the sponsorship from a Coca-Cola perspective. It's for the under 17s women's team, right? Yes, we are playing. We're going to Turkey. We're going to play, I think, the Turkish whatever cup we've played in the last few years. So that's good. And we're going to get 3 friendlies against European club sides. Okay. But again, is that enough? I don't know. And let's see if the clarity that you're talking about, I think there's a lot of questions still remaining from the clubs. One YouTuber saying hockey league were not able to survive, not getting started early. Yes, sir, you're right. So many leagues running on losses. Extent P, there are certain sponsors were there. But the stadiums are empty. The TV ratings are not good. And this is the 3rd attempt of a professional league in hockey. They tried in 2005 with the Premier Hockey League. Then the HIL a few years ago, and now again. This is last year they started. These are realities. If we like it or not. And therefore, that's the challenge I think that hockey has in a country like India. So therefore, not easy. Klopp will look for workhorses, I'm pretty sure. But my Real Madrid fans are saying that he will fail with these set of players. Yuvraj, I think if Jurgen Klopp is intending to come to Real Madrid, I think he will tell Florentino Perez, with this team, nothing is possible. Right? So therefore, for me, if you ask me, let's see what Real Madrid does under Arbeloa for the moment. And then we'll have to see. Hope team gains max from this 1-month camp and friendly matches with European clubs, national teams, defenders, and be best form for wishing. Let's see, Shanlata. I think we're all hoping. But if you think that we're 1.5 months away from the AFC Women's Asian Cup, difficult. Why does culture has to be part of every committee? Is not president's job. Palash, again, could be. But again, why? Good question. I don't have an answer. Hi, Mukul. Welcome back. Right. 33 minutes. Quick reminder, like, share, and subscribe. Those who are watching live, those who may be watching afterwards, 11 likes at the moment. We had 29 likes yesterday. Even watch the Super Copa de España. I think some interesting conversations, especially when the goals happen. Some good commentary from my side. So thanks a lot as always. And if you haven't, if you're new and you're watching, you're listening, you're liking it, please subscribe to the channel. We stand at 3,702 at the moment. So slowly moving towards the 3,800 and then the 4,000 mark. So please help and support. And thank you as always, guys. 3-year player joined Bangladesh national team. Okay, Rushba, we had that. Do you think development process is generally missing in India, not only football, but other sports? That's why we struggle internationally. Yes, Murali. We are not willing to do what is needed at grassroots and youth level. Coaching is a big issue. This is Asian U23 Asian Cup is showing how fast Asian teams are developing now, beating top Asian team. The gap is slowly becoming huge. India might be left so far behind. Samad, that has been a problem, right? Think about, we were happy with Qatar and everything, and I said Qatar is not a top team in Asia. Other teams are much better. If it has nothing but finally doing something from both sides for women as well as I said, kind of good to see things improving, still far away from something good. Kanata, they're doing the basics. They're not doing anything out of this world. I totally ignored that tweet, sir, since that specific page when goes low on engagement chooses to rage bait into Kashi fans. So why not let him bark aimlessly and instead be worried about ISL? Exactly, Yuvraj, same. That's what I said. Still again, Indian fans will get lollipop OCI news. Many people start making on OCI. on ref sports. Let them. XNP, let them. And don't watch it then, no? Hey, Rushabh, welcome back. Good night, sir. Take care, and may the problems of all of in the stream get abandoned like Xavi from Real Madrid. Thanks, Yuvraj. And yeah, the Xavi one, I at least am, I would say, disappointed that someone like Xavi Alonso has been relieved of his job by Real Madrid. But again, that is for Real Madrid to sort out and think. Indian football never improved what I see today. Indian football fan. Okay, Rushwa, at the moment, we are in a very, very difficult phase, right? We are in a big mess. Um, but yeah, so therefore, for me, let's see where we're heading. I'm hoping in future India hockey achieve gold in Olympics. We were very close missing. We often had struggled against Europe team. Well, let's wait and see. I see Real Madrid problem between player and management is first time or happen with other teams also. Morally, it happens often. It's not a one-off. This problem, players, this, that, again, management, coach, there are multiple problems across where it can happen. So therefore, this is nothing being, yeah. They even say out of word things, but AFF doing basic things itself something, as we all know what's work rate of AFF. Sanatha, it's not about the work rate, right? It is not about the work rate. It is about getting things done. The work rate is it there, is it not there? Again, that's a conversation maybe in itself. But the question for the AFF is, are you doing the right things at the right time in the right way? That is where they're failing, in my opinion. Being honest, to develop football, all responsibility on one shoulder. Bengal used to be, but today no Bengali player is playing 11 except Shubhashish Bose sir. Is Kerala maybe new due to fans following? The responsibility was never only on Bengal. I don't know why people say that. Yes, you will think from a club football perspective, the big three were East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, and Mohammedan, but players were coming from all over, right? So even if you look at, there were players at some stage who were coming from the old Mysore or Karnataka afterwards, Hyderabad, or what became later on Andhra. Kerala, you mentioned other parts of India, Rajasthan, Punjab used to send players. So that's what this is the new hub. Kerala has always been some sort of hub. Is it? If you want to, I don't know. This hub conversation is always I find very difficult because there are many parts in the country where football is popular, where football is liked by people, and to me is always a question of how does it work. So to me, very, very. Let's see where things go. Do you think Xabi had free hand in Leverkusen compared to Madrid? Well, to some extent, yes, but the guys at Bayer Leverkusen and the recruitment have done a brilliant job as well. So yeah, surely with the team and the way he had his free hand, but again, he was getting players that Bayer Leverkusen was providing to him. So from that perspective, Xabi Alonso got a good working team. So therefore, for me, a lot of things went the right way, and that's those are the questions, the queries that are there. So from my standpoint, I would always say, Bayer Leverkusen, again, the management was good to bring in Xabi Alonso. I think that's one. And on the other side, the other good things were that they were able to sign the players that they brought on, right? They brought a lot of players and have sold on a lot of players for a lot of money, right? Florian Wirtz, the costliest transfer from the Bundesliga ever to the Premier League to Liverpool. Nkapie, who's joined Arsenal from Bayer Leverkusen. They even got a lot of money for Granit Xhaka, even though they would have liked to have kept him. And then they've now signed a lot of young, talented players. So yeah, interesting to see, right? Yeah, that's biggest concern. Will this 1 month camp so late and late friendlies be enough for good form in Asian Cup? But for now, at least we have friendlies. Let's see how much women gain. Charlotte, no, it's not enough. It is, as you say, it's too late and it's too little. And it's for us about figuring out something and staying somewhat in the game. I think is very, very important for the women's team, in my opinion. And it is a challenge in itself. So therefore, it's an interesting scenario. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. And again, the results in these friendlies will have nothing to say about what are you going to do in the AFC Women's Asian Cup. right? That is in March. Again, playing Japan, playing Vietnam, playing Chinese Taipei, different levels. So that's going to be a challenge for us. Can't expect anything right in way or time, but things are just happening bit decent. Let's see. Yeah, again, that's why we the bare minimum. Again, the word is most probably the bare minimum, and the bare minimum happening, and we're happy with the bare minimum. That is how things are, and that is to think about it is actually insane, right? That to think as like okay, they're doing the bare minimum, and we're happy about it. That shows that how far we have lowered our expectations. So yeah, that's the challenge. That's the challenge where we are in, and therefore I'm hoping for the best, but again, as I've said earlier, to me, right? Let's see. So that means of Northeast United because Northeast Indian politicians care about football. Yeah, they do. I mean, Northeastern politicians look at Chief Minister level, Conrad Sangma in Meghalaya, Pema Khandu in Arunachal. Look at the Mizoram governments over the years. Even in Assam now, Tripura, I realized something, Nagaland, Sikkim. So yeah, so Northeast, the politicians care about sports. Xabi Alonso, undefeated tenure, Leverkusen, unthinkable. Morally, yes, because an unbeaten season per se is always a surprise. Any team, any club doing that is an exception, be it Bayer Leverkusen, be it any other team, right? So therefore, yeah, it was a great achievement. And Xabi Alonso, again, the combination of playing an unbeaten season and then on top of it, winning the German league, winning the German Cup, and only losing in the Europa League final to Atalanta Bergamo. Think about it; they could have done the treble, and the only match they lost was a European final. So it's a once in a history sort of performance by Leverkusen. Many players never said they're finished, but they proved it wrong. Who said they're finished? I don't know that they're finished. French Ligue 1 or Ligue 1, you would say. Where you place? Well, it's a good league to produce players. If I put the Premier League, La Liga, and Bundesliga at the top level, right? Then to me they are behind that. They are behind than even the Serie A. They would be like, they're the weakest of the top 5 leagues that we talk about in Europe. No, we talk about the English Premier League, we speak about the Spanish La Liga, we speak about the German Bundesliga, the Italian Serie A, and of course about the French Ligue 1. And the Ligue 1 would be, in that way, would be the weakest of those leagues, right? So from that perspective, yes, it is. Southampton, Wolves, Burnley, are they equal to Chelsea? No, Chelsea, Man City, no. I mean, Man City and Chelsea are amongst, it is they're of a different magnitude. And even if I look at Southampton, Wolves, and Burnley, I would have said amongst those 3, even though Southampton is in the championship in the second tier, Wolverhampton Wanderers and FC Burnley are smaller teams, even though Burnley would be the smallest amongst those 3. So therefore, no, they're never even close or equal. Hey Blue, welcome back. Drogba said German coaches have tendency to micromanage their players. Is it true? What's up? I wouldn't say so. Again, it's a generalization, right? You will talk about it that a Thomas Tuchel does that. Klopp has done that to some extent as well. So maybe that's the examples that they're looking at. But I don't think every coach does it. But again, in Germany, you have to have a tendency of a coach having to work with the team, right? Which why Ancelotti, for example, was successful at Real Madrid and he was unsuccessful at Bayern, because at Bayern, the players said, listen, the coach is not doing enough with us. The Bayern Munich players, when Ancelotti was there, were actually doing extra sessions because the coach was not doing enough with them. Because you have to think about, they had Pep Guardiola and then Pep goes and then Ancelotti comes in, which is contrast. Again, Pep is most probably the coach to micromanage the most in the world or amongst them at the top level, right? So therefore, these are things which are realities and which make it very, very difficult to sort of, to figure out which, X coach, Y coach, why does he do this? Why does he do not this? There's a lot of conversations on that always. So yeah, from that perspective, I would say German coaches yeah, so therefore for me, I would not, Utsav, I would not fully agree to that statement that all German coaches, but some, again, the ones who are known at the top, yes, they do. Julian Nagelsmann belongs to that class as well. I said about Leverkusen performance losing is more compared to after I answered that. Based on that, I said players struggle success beating bigger team. I put in different phases. Okay. Um, no, Monali, the team is not the same. No? If you look at the team now and you look at the team last season, um, uh, it's a different team. So therefore, you cannot even compare, right? And even last season, where people said, "Oh, Leverkusen didn't have that good a season," hey, listen, Leverkusen actually did good for themselves, right? So therefore, um, always difficult to make these comparisons and all that kind of stuff. Again, they had an exceptional season, right? They won the Bundesliga. They were they lost one game all season, and that the Europa League final to Atalanta Bergamo. Um, right? So that is a season which to even come close to that, to copy that season is close to impossible. Is ISL happening in a centralized city, Kolkata, Goa? No. Rohan, at the moment as it stands, it will be on a home and away format, but some teams are saying that they don't want to play home, so they want potentially some of the clubs might have some more home matches if that is the logic. Again, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Hi, Augusto. Odisha are back. Augusto, it looks like, not only looks like Odisha FC are back because Odisha FC, of course, made the statement that they made earlier today. Just to read that statement out to you guys. The club statement reads, after careful consideration, Odisha FC confirms its participation in the upcoming season of the Indian Super League in alignment with the proposal put forward by the All India Football Federation in support of the government of India's objective to ensure continuity, stability, and long-term growth in Indian football. OFC fully supports the government of India's commitment to keeping Indian football active, visible, and unified during an important period of transition. Sustaining momentum of the domestic game is critical not only for players, clubs, and staff, but also for the millions of fans across the country whose passion for football continues to drive the sport forward. Over the past decade, Odisha OFC has remained a deeply committed stakeholder in the development of both men's and women's football in India, making sustained investments in the football ecosystem. Our decision to participate reflects our unwavering belief in the long-term future of Indian football and in the Indian Super League as the country's premier football competition. We remain fully committed to working closely with the government of India, AIFF, and all stakeholders that build a stronger, more competitive, and globally respected Indian football ecosystem. That last sentence, of course, has a little bit of flack for a lot of people. Respected in the global football ecosystem sounds quite big in my opinion. But again, yeah, they're in. Let's see. Marcus saying tomorrow's schedule will be announced by F. Let's see, X9P, what is happening. Are there any cases of in Bundesliga and past where players were caught partying or having scandal? How many students taken care of in Germany? Is it a common as England or Spain? Whatsoever it happens, these kind of partying, discipline happens. Yeah? Problems with players and discipline happens around the world. Bundesliga was English Premier League, which is more competitive, tough. Morally, again, I am biased because I'm born and brought up in Germany. I always will more like the Bundesliga than the Premier League. So I will always say Bundesliga. Again, as I say, I'm biased because I've born and brought up in the system. I like our German football more than English football in that way. So, right, that's for me a reality. So therefore, for me, if you ask me, I will always say that, and might be wrong, but again, to me, I enjoy a Bundesliga match more than a Premier League game. So, yeah. Menis, who will be broadcast? Augusto, at the moment, if there's no conversation about it, it's DD Sports, right? So that's the likeliest broadcaster at the moment, and any other one would be a surprise. So therefore, for me, let's wait and see. Brighton beating Man United as a surprise? No, really. Why should I be surprised? Man United is in the state they are in, right? Man United is where Real Madrid could end up if they continue like the way they're operating, right? So therefore, no, it happens. If you don't take right decisions, again, you are looking only at people who have connections within the club. And when people criticize the system at Man United is not willing to accept that, right? It happened, Ruben Amorim, right or wrong, good coaching, bad coaching, that's a different question. But he raised a lot of points regard to Man United, which went wrong in his opinion. And earlier, Ralf Rangnick did the same thing. Ralf Rangnick, look at him before that, before Manu, after Manu. You know, so therefore, yeah, that's the thing. So therefore, for me, um, yeah. So hi, sir, HAL struggling so much, struggling maybe hockey league. It's not be hockey India League in its current form is struggling, right? Has struggled, is struggling. So therefore, for me, it's a big question if that can sort itself out. Hockey India League. I hope, I wish for hockey in India, but they need to find some. They need to do something different, and that's the problem. Fan code. How do you rate a telecast? Great, Morally. It's a good OTT platform for sports. But Bundesliga and Liga have sadly become one horse race. What's up? Yeah, you can. The Bundesliga has, because Bayern Munich is way too good for the rest of the league, no doubt about it. But is really English football that I watched a lot of Premier League football in the last 2 3 weeks with the Bundesliga off, right? Um, the quality of football is not good. Sorry. I mean, if Liverpool can be fourth and Man United is somewhere up there, right? Is again, and they're not good, then it doesn't speak for your league, right? So therefore, um, that's the reality, right? And if I see, for example, what was it last Friday? Eintracht Frankfurt, Borussia Dortmund, 3-3 draw. Incredible game of football. Brilliant game of football, right? 3-3 with the razzmatazz, the fun and everything, with mistakes, this, that, everything. That's what for me football is about. And if you ask me if that's the what is needed for football, yes, it is. And to me, I as I say, for me, if I look at the bottom of the table and the teams playing over there, I would always pick the Bundesliga, right? For me, that it's the more interesting league, right? We curious when all the asset clubs are making a loss and there is an entry of SC Delhi. Other loss-making clubs are owned by conglomerates, and about SC, what I find, he's an individual. Who is the individual? No, Rowan, they're Sporting Club Delhi is owned by BS Jindal, by the BS Jindal group. So where's it an individual, right? Is managing ego another big issue, bigger problem? Ego is always an issue, right? Everywhere in life, here, there, everywhere. Ego is can be an issue, you know. So Dortmund were good in early 2010. What's up? Again, under Klopp, late 2000s when he came. I think 2008, Klopp joined Dortmund. Incredible phase, right? And yeah, had brilliant players, right players coming in. Very successful, and then yeah, established themselves as the one of the 3, 4, 5 teams to be in the top 5. Sporting Lisbon beating bigger English club. Are you surprised? No. Morally, why should I be surprised? You ask this question often. Are you surprised about this? Are you surprised about no? Why should I? That's the fun. That's the charm of football. That a potentially smaller team or team with a smaller budget is able to beat a team with a bigger budget. That's the fun. That's the fun of football. That is why you enjoy it. Sir, who can broadcast? DD Sports Franco were ideally good. X9P, let's wait and see. Again, so therefore for me, one second, I just want to get up. For me, again, there are not too many choices, right? The question is Fancode interested? Do they want to do it? It's not to me or you or for us. Is Fancode interested to broadcast the Indian Super League? One. Who's going to do the broadcast? Again, the AIFF is saying that the production cost stands at 9 crores, right? 9 crores means you're spending less than 9 lakhs on the production per game, right? Less than 10 lakhs per game. Your costs in the ISL were, if I'm not wrong, about 50, right? 50, around 40, 50 lakhs. Yeah, not 40, more than 45 to 50 lakhs was the production. So it means already the production will become worse, right? You had, so all of these factors, and then let's wait and see what happens. So can you explain the role of the committees ever is going to create and who are going to be the members? Prasad, the role of the committees is to run, right? Governing council. I don't know if you're talking about committees or governing councils, and, you know, and so It's supposed to run the leagues, right? There's going to be a council, governing council for the ISL and governing council for the I League. So yeah. Who do you think will win the ISL and who will get relegated? Augusto, this is a question not to ask today. I don't even know the squads. I have no clue, right? Mohun Supergiant are the defending champions, so they will be there, and the rest we'll have to figure out. At the moment, I have no clue who's going to be, candidates to win the league or not the league, because we're not in that zone. We're not in that conversation at the moment. That conversation needs to happen, right? That conversation needs to take place once we know the squads, who's got what, who's got whom, who's got not whom. All these questions will arise, and I at least don't have an answer to it, right? How big of a face loss it will be for if and when they find no takers for the second tender as well for commercial partner for the 25-26 season. Putty Tribe, too. Again, who's going to come forward? I mean, except if you've got someone fixed and say, hey, listen, just put in a bid for the sake of putting in a bid. Otherwise, there is no taker. If I don't see any taker of the bids at the moment, given the realities of this jumbled up league, right? So this jumbled up league, it's the league is happening for the sake of happening, right? That's the good part. But if you want quality, there's that, everything, forget that. It's happening for the sake of happening. It's a 3-month league happening. Let's see what kind of khichdi we're going to get. So what is the cost of broadcasting I-League per match? Is it around 10 lakh figure? Utsav, no, it's lower. At the moment, I think it is lower. I don't think it was. Again, if it's ISL is as 10 lakh, it will be you have to produce it in, let's say, maybe 2.5 per game. So which is cheaper, YouTube, DD Sports. Again, it all depends on what kind of cameras you're using, what kind of equipment. It's not, okay, this is cheaper, that is cheaper. YouTube sounds easier, but again, if you've got an OB van somewhere where you're putting in the signal and that has to be sent up, all of that is a cost. So it's not general, this YouTube theoretically, again, I am broadcasting here on YouTube from my camera, from my phone, right? I'm using here my phone as my camera. I could do it with my camera. If I'm doing that, then it's cheapest in the world. But the question is, what are you doing? What is the setup? The setup is the question of, as I just explained, the ISL setup in its prime was a 16, 18 cameras gig, right? With all shebangs. Again, so therefore, those comparisons are not there. DD Sports, again, the question is not, my question is DD Sports going to put in any money? That's the first question. And secondly, as I said, if it is 9 crores as production costs for the league, how will that work? Because your problem is the equipment has to be rented. The equipment has to be put from A to B. All of those logistical problems are huge. Considering that the commercial partner will come on board on 5th February, do you think there's someone already set up behind the scenes? No. No, I mean, last season was the broadcasting of I-League was around. Utsav, I don't know what the cost was last season. I don't know what the cost of, and I don't think it was 10 because if I look at SSCN production, no, it doesn't look like 10. 10 would be a figure that we should be talking about. So, no. Yes, sir, how will DD money work? Is DD will make money or just broadcast on TV? XNP, we'll have to wait and see when the broadcasting rights are handed out. To me, I would think that you have to produce. If you ask me today, again, I don't know what the conversation has been with DD, or because it is being facilitated by the sports ministry. To me, it would be, okay, you produce a feed, you give it to DD, DD puts it out. That would be my logic. If you ask me today, again, that would be my question to ask, right? So therefore, let's wait and see. Again, all valid questions. So that's the thing. So do we have a broadcast expert in AIFF? Mahesh, no, I don't think so. I don't think they have. Your thoughts on DD Sports broadcasting live games of Women's Bundesliga? Holy crap, good. Again, they're on a number of platforms. I think they're also on SSCN, if I'm not wrong. Good. If German women's football gets a little bit of coverage, because it will not be covered by the mainstream television channels, it's good for women, for the German Women's Bundesliga. Rohan says ISL is planned to happen in 3 months, 3 double headers a week. Will players have enough time for recovery? Yeah, Rohan. Again, if you're playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is off, then it is, right? And if given the realities at the moment that we're playing at all, again, let's say we're playing at all, then I would say, yeah, it's okay. To be very honest with you, if that's the point, and if we're going to say, oh, now we're going to talk about recovery, then though we've lost, right? So will the players be fully fit? No, I don't think at the start of the season. So therefore, yeah, that's how it is. So why don't they ever generate sponsor income from billboards? What's up? Who's going to give them money for a billboard? Simple question. Nice idea, but who's going to give them for a one-off billboard? Again, if you do a sponsorship deal, it's for the season, right? You don't do for individual matches. You do it for the whole season. And the billboard structure is in such a way, the so-called billboards you have to give a certain number of them to the respective clubs so that they can show their own sponsors. And in the last 15 years, the commercial rights were with FSDL. So FSDL or IMG Reliance, and they used to generate, initially they used to have, no? They had Honda, they had this, they had that. Nivea is there as a ball sponsor, but you're not going to individually generate billboard advertising income from individual matches. I think that's something which in an Indian putty system will not work. That's something which will have to come in from a more generic standpoint. So election in Kerala, Bengal, Tamil Nadu in April is scheduled going to be difficult. Yes, that's another problem that I think the AIFF and the clubs, which I know some people actually factually forgot, will be an issue. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how they're going to work around it. And it looks like some clubs are going to play in venues where you would have never thought they would play. So that's also going to be quite interesting when it comes out that who's playing where and why, or who is not actually playing at home. Because some of the clubs are saying, oh, you know what, I can reduce my costs by not actually organizing home matches. Very interesting approach. Being honest, Indian government, so much money, but corruption ruins everything. DD Sports have good OTT platform. DD Sports may have good funding from government, but need to improve quality if they have himself producing. How do you know that they have good funding? I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I would not know. Let's put it this way. If DD Sports or Doordarshan in general has good funding from the government, or if Prasad Bharati just keeps it alive. So again, X9P, I don't know where you're coming from that the government is funding them in a way. If they're doing it brilliant, great. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if that funding is actually not as good as you, I, or we are thinking or talking about, because it is always it's always a contentious issue, right? To talk about the funding of Doordarshan in general. More matches are scheduled in Bengal. Kerala security is concerned. Mahesh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That there might be difficulties, even if the AIFF tomorrow announce a schedule, right, or tomorrow or day after, right. My question would be, the elections haven't been announced, so so therefore for me, let's wait and see. There's a lot of questions. In times like this, if you are in the city, please watch your club matches from stadiums and buy original merch. Your 500,000 means a lot at this time. Yeah, Utsav, that's a good thing to say to Indian football fans. Again, whoever is in the respective cities or states when the stadiums are not, go and watch. And humble request to all people who are live, or not only live, Utsav, even people who are watching it afterwards, right? If you are, show your support to Indian football. I think that's very, very important, and that's a good thing, very good thing to say. So you need to use OTT platform. You will realize app is good. Contains some nostalgic show. Okay. Again, nostalgic show, yes, but an app, if it has things, you put it in there, right? There is no cost for it. Live production is something different, be it news, sports, or shows. Will the commentators return, the likes of Pradyum Reddy and Paul Maciel, will them? It won't be the same. Augusto, I have no clue. At the moment, if you ask me, Augusto, you're asking already questions about what's going to happen. I don't know. I said the setup is easier. So if you're thinking your cost of a match to produce is 1/5 of what it was before, do you think, for example, a Paul Macefield is available? Pradyum is now a coach in Southeast Asia. So then again, is he available? I would be happy if we if Pulosto is back, if all these guys are back. So let's see. By Jan end, can we get clarity of ISL sponsorship for short term, or is this include for long term? Based on that, it will be decided whether the season happens or not. Is it independent topic? Narendra, ISL sponsorship, you know, uh, uh, for me, where do you think that ISL sponsorship will come from? I'll be curious if you can answer me that. And the league happening is independent of sponsors. The clubs are going to lose money. The AIFF is going to lose money, right? The AIFF will try to cover themselves. The clubs will not be able to cover their costs. So therefore, that would be the first thing to say. So therefore, for me, and it is a sponsor coming in or not. Again, who's going to come in? Again, even if I'm a sponsor, why would I come in? Thinking from their side, right? Given all the negativity around Indian football, why would you sponsor the ISL at the moment? Except if you are a huge football fan and think, let me do something good for Indian club football. Would the ISL will be done one like the Super Cup, no marketing, no crowd, all useless? ABCD, no idea. If it's going to be that way, I hope it should be a little better. But again, I don't know. Again, the question is, what can the clubs, let's see. The Instagram page of the Indian Super League hasn't posted anything yet. Rohan, the Instagram page was managed by Reliance. And I don't know if the Instagram page or Facebook or YouTube or whatever, if any of that has actually been handed over to the AIFF, right? That would be my question at the moment. So to me, just let me see if when was the last that I think around the Super Cup, right? It would have, yeah. The last thing that they posted was around the Super Cup a month ago, right? So therefore, these were, So therefore, for me, all of it is this is. It might be an interesting question to you, but it is for the people who are trying to organize the league, not a priority question. Mr. Bharti around 2,700 crore funding by Indian government. X9P sounds a lot, right? But if you see the setup that Prasar Bharati has and how many channels, how many languages, most probably it's not that much. I mean, what's the use of friendship with Ambani of Modi? Why doesn't he take on board Reliance Group to take the responsibility? League? Modi keep doing a lot of things for him, land and oil and all. That's the question to ask the Prime Minister. Don't you have any kind of suggestion that to make ISL commercially viable? Goku, at the moment, I think you need a commercial partner to help you. And in this current model, that's the main thing. And this is, so therefore for me, there's a lot of questions to be asked, and let's wait and see. But commercially viable, again, the league needs to stabilize itself. I don't know if they're going to try and grow the league in the coming years. There's a lot of questions to be asked. 14 teams to me are way too many. And that's one thing. I said, I think we need a 10-team league. We need to shut it down. We need to need a closed league for a certain period of time, and then maybe we can grow it. So when you post your next recorded video, can you spread the same message? Yeah, Utsav, I will when I do that, surely. What's your take? Can we make in the Women's World Cup or either of the three teams, 17, 20 or senior team? Oh, ABCD. You know what? If I look at the respective groups, I'm not thinking. Again, if we do brilliant, great, I would be the first one to be happy. But again, if I look especially the women's teams, I'm hopeful that we don't get heavily beaten by opponents. So therefore, for me, that's the concern I have looking at those numbers at the moment. So therefore, for me, I would love all our teams to make the World Cup, but can they make the World Cup? That's the tricky question at the moment. Is it confirmed which club we're playing at home? Do you have club names, please? Narendra, nothing has been announced publicly. There's a lot of speculation because it was said that Inter Kashif, for example, will play in Kolkata, and then people have said, no, Inter Kashif actually said that they will only play away matches. Same thing about Mohammedan Sporting. Mohammedan Sporting have said that they would play at Kishore Bharati, but then there's been news that Mohammedan Sporting have said, no, we are fine playing away matches. So the question is then, okay, if these two teams say we will only play away matches, then what happens to the rest of the league? So therefore, there's a lot of questions which are at the moment unanswered. Budget for broadcast is just estimate. Will it more? Mahesh, the whole budget, forget broadcast, the whole budget of the Indian Super League to run is an estimate and is for me a very positive estimate to try and run it at that cost. Right? If you ask me, I have a lot of questions. So therefore, it's very the numbers are very ambitious, over ambitious, I would actually say. So therefore, for me, if you ask me, let's wait and see what if those numbers work. Those numbers, in my opinion, are tough. Tough to try and make it happen. But again, it's on the AIFF and the clubs together in the governing council to sit together and decide and say, you know what, okay, we need to maybe cut a little bit of cost here. We need to cut cost there. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see if that is possible or not. Right, 1 hour, 11 minutes. Once more, a reminder, if you haven't like, share, and subscribe Arun Foot here on YouTube, 19 likes so far. Thank you very much. Like it, share it with other people. And of course, as always, if you're new, you're listening, you're liking our conversation, do subscribe to the channel. We stand at 3,703 subscribers at this moment in time as I speak to you. So thank you very much. And yeah, watch the short videos. I did something on the ISL clubs, 14 of them agreeing to play, all 14 of them agreeing to play. There are a lot of videos. Yesterday, I did something on the Coca-Cola India Under-17 partnership. And then last few days, of course, a lot of questions asked in regard to the ISL. Did last 7 days ago interview with Pritham Kotal about the situation. Want to do some more interviews, but again, with this uncertainty, certain people have said, let's wait and see, and then we will talk. So thanks a lot for that. It will be a dream come true if all women's team, senior, under 20, under 17 qualified for the FIFA Women's World Cups. Yeah, Goku, 100%. But again, given the scenario, given the preparations, tough ask. I want AIFF to bear more losses when compared to clubs so that the club survives in long term. If Indian football grows in long term, AIFF will have profit after a few years. Narendra, nice idea, but again, totally unrealistic given the financial circumstances of the league and of the AIFF. So therefore, if I look at the current numbers, then if I look at all of those things, then to me, then I have to remember that where we are at this moment in time, and to me, the biggest problem. To me, the question is, can we realistically do that? So for me, it's a challenge. It's a huge challenge, and the AIFF is in a position that the AIFF needs to financially survive. If the AIFF spends too much on the ISL / on the I-League, which in the last few years, the ISL has been your money earner, your 50 crores you were getting from Reliance because of the ISL, forget the rest. Now you have to spend at least 9 crores, 9 point something. How are you going to recover that? And if you don't recover all of this will cause problems for you so that you will in the future not be able to run your football. In the summer, the AIFF will have no money. So therefore, this whole commercial side of it, let's wait and see. It's again, the numbers don't add up. And I have said to my friends at the clubs, I think you guys will have to spend more in the end, if you like it or not. So, but that's also in your interest. The problem is that if, again, club surviving, yes, very important, very, very important for our system. But the other side of the thing is can the clubs do what is needed of them independently of what is happening? So let's see. What do you think about Intercash investment plans and their plans? Rohan, they've invested a lot. You have to credit them that in the summer they went to CAS last year to fight for promotion. fight against wrong that happened to them. And on the other side, yeah, now with the government not helping them the right way, they're now trying to build a small stadium of their own. So players, Inter Kashi have already spent a substantial amount of money to build their team, they build their club. Now they're going to the next level, and that is, we'll have to wait and see. You know, um, you know. So therefore, for me, it is very very important that we um, support a team like Intakashi, who's coming in, spending money, and yeah, trying to build something. So will the home team bring sponsors, or have a responsibility to bring them? Mahesh, theoretically, home team brings sponsors for themselves. Forget home team. The I as a team bring sponsors for myself, right? On my kit, on my match day, whatever it is, and AIFF theoretic as well. But AIFF, yeah, hasn't done that for the last few years. Hi, Comic Arunava here. New here, first time, 5 minutes. I'm already loving the topic. Thanks a lot. Good to hear. And again, then please like, share, and subscribe. What will happen to the men's national team? Will they get a chance to play any friendly or anything? Feeling sad for Ryan Williams. Rohan, we have a March window where we still have to play a final AFC Asian Cup 2027 final round qualifier against Hong Kong. Yes, we are out. We're going to finish bottom of the group, but we still have one match to play. We host Hong Kong in March. So that match is on, and could be a friendly before that. So those are, there will be a gap in between in the ISL for that. So that is something which is going to happen. If there is going to be more or less, then we'll have to see. But for me, that is the given that we will in that window, so to say, play. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Um, because then June theoretically is the next window for us to play, and then we'll see if and how what the team can do in those respective matches. But the important thing is, I think as much talking and thinking about the national team, but the topic at the moment for me is about the ISL, that the ISL happens. Let's see how it happens. Again, I still have fears that with the way that the budget to me doesn't add up. I think the cost normally should have been higher, but again, let's hope it works. And on the other side, also, what I said a little earlier with elections around the corner in certain states, state elections, Vidhan Sabha elections in Bengal, in Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, what kind of an outcome? Again, Chennai FC is not clear. Will they play in Chennai? Will they play away? The Blasters saying that they can't play in Kochi, so they're thinking of the EMS Stadium. But the EMS Stadium, I looked at it last week, there was a huge report that the whole ground is damaged. So therefore, there's a lot of these questions. Mumbai City, not clear. Can they play in Mumbai? Mumbai Football Arena not taking care of, and that is going to be, that's going to be on them. Will the AIFF, the clubs take part of the ticket selling? Prasad, normally it's on the home team, right? If it's not centrally organized, then every club will have to, if it's your match day, even if you're not, if let's say XYZ club plays away from home, but then they have to, make that possible, through either an online platform or online and offline, of course. Is any chance AIFF to introduce Indian Arrows in I-League to promote more Indian players at forward positions? Narendra, the AIFF is broke. So Indian Arrows, is great as an idea it is. They've even shut down the women's Indian Arrows, which they created, because they don't have the money. So as long as there's no extra money coming in for the AIFF to run such programs, nothing is happening. Right. And it's not just about Indian players in forward positions. I think if we look at the Indian Arrows around 2011-12, if we look at the Indian Arrows even after the Under-17 World Cup in 2018-19, this team has brought us a lot of players, right? Given a lot of players an opportunity to play. Original squad, Gurpreet, Pritham Kotal, Probir Das, Pranoy Halder, Ralvi Karalte, JJ, all these guys. So therefore, for me, it was very successful. So yeah, let's wait and see what's going to happen or not. Mr. FSDL said playoffs was more profitable than league stage. Should AIFF rethink? Mahesh, how was it more profitable? I don't think they ever said that. The playoffs had the biggest interest. Mahesh, this season is about holding the season. This is not about, oh, you know what, perfect system, this and that. No. You know, and so it was again, the league was never profitable. The playoffs was which raised the most eyebrows and most interest. That is what they spoke about. So it was not, profitability was never a conversation. And again, what will happen next season, we don't know. This season is about just about playing. At the moment, we're talking about an Indian Super League happening for the sake of happening. Yeah. Was the Indian football team's home matches being broadcast and Jones a part of the FSL deal? Yes, yes, it was, Prasad. They were showing it, and even Star Sports showing the Super Cup, the last Super Cup, was part of that deal. Hi, Mayank. Hope you're well. Cold here in Italy. I saw John Footy's views on a podcast video. So how do you see it? Mayank, here Germany is no longer cold. Actually, it was 8 degrees plus over the day after minus 12, minus 10, minus 12 over the weekend. And yeah, listen, let him speak, and he doesn't know, first of all, what he's talking about. He doesn't seem to know my work, so yeah, let him speak. It speaks more about him and his lack of knowledge and understanding of things than it speaks about me. I know what I've done. I know the work, effort I've put into Indian football. I got a lot of messages from a lot of people, which was very interesting to see. So I know who my friends and well wishers are. So in that way, it was good. But it's for him. It exposes him more than anything else. So there's a video I saw on some sports minister and didn't even know how to pronounce Mohan Bagan name. Yeah. Um, yeah. Not some sports minister, the Indian sports minister. Yeah. Mohan Began and East Began. Yeah. 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 Or it has become now the brinjal joke in Bengal. Why doesn't FIFA allow to put sponsor on the jersey? This would allow football federation countries like India to earn few money. Rohan, it is like that around the world. And India, how do you know that the Indian Federation would earn money? I don't think India would earn money. No sponsor would come forward to do the front of India shirt. And again, it's a FIFA rule, and and I think it's good that you try and keep the match jersey free of sponsors. At least Indian is allowed to give more playtime to under 17, under 20, which will improve mentality gameplay, which helps to qualify regularly in Asian Cup, maybe in future World Cup by merit. Narendra, I didn't question any of that. I said there's no money for that, right? So therefore, yeah. Timo left as well from FC Goa. Seems like most of the teams will play with 8, 9 Indians in the starting lineup except the Bengal clubs. Mark, it looks like, yeah, I think SC Delhi most probably has signed. No, I don't know how many have got the 3 or 4. Punjab had 4, I remember, Punjab FC. I think Northeast United, I still don't know how many they have. They had also more. So let's wait and see. And some will play without foreigner. Mohammedan Sporting will surely play without it. And, you know, when should you think we're a little bit assured about Indian Football League? Blue, again, there is too many questions unanswered. All of this is nice at the moment. You understand it as well. I think by the end of the month, we'll have a real proper clarity of how and things happening, because there's still a lot of questions are unanswered. The government hasn't come back on things, right? The sports ministry has made certain commitments which they can't keep. Very interesting to see. And there's a lot of questions for the AIFF. And I said the funding and the numbers for me don't add up. I have a lot of questions on the funding and the numbers that are being put out at the moment by the AIFF. Sir, I feel AIFF have such high standards to have them as sponsor. If they can have multiple small reputed companies to sponsor them, they can generate some money. Utsav, who's going to small? The AIFF is open to anyone to sponsor. What is the standards? What high standards are you talking about? And what figures are you talking about? Why to do? And also, listen, to have a sponsor for the sake of sponsors spoils your long-term product as well. So that's the reality. If I-League is going to start simultaneously with ISL, shouldn't they do the same planning doing for ISL now for I-League? Why are they not doing that? Prasad, because the I-League will be a 55-match league, and I think the AIFF at the moment doesn't have the resources to plan both of it in parallel. Right? You know, Good to see you are taking it not seriously what he said, but sadly in India people do tend to believe someone, especially if the person is a foreigner. Mayank, why should I take it seriously? It again, it is why should I care? It shows me again these people are either rage baiting or making themselves more important about what they are. Again, he's a presenter, he's a television presenter, nothing more, nothing less. He's not even a football expert, right? So if someone, again, you want to have a discussion with me on football, let's have it. I think, and I can take on anyone on that if we want to have a football discussion. And again, I don't think many people in the world would win if you want to have a discussion on Indian football with me. So I know, yeah, maybe I sound arrogant in that, but I'm confident enough to be able. And those kind of people have no chance anyway. So yeah. Now that the league is happening and 14 teams are playing, how can clubs cut costs? And the clubs will still get grants for free from government or will discounts rent. Mank, that is the whole question. Free, I don't think so. Discounts, again, how is the sports minister saying, I'll give you free stadiums if, for example, I don't know, Kerala government, Bengal government, certain other governments don't just need to listen to him, right? You know? So that's the reality. I feel they want only big companies like Coca-Cola, Indigo. No, they're not. They don't in Utsav. They would go for a small company, but which is the small company who's going to give the AIFF money at the moment? There is no sponsor waiting to give money to the AIFF. I guess people are still living in 1980s Soviet era thoughts. No private leagues, sir. Government should do everything, sir. Yeah, Blue. That's the problem. We as much as India wants to be a capitalist country, and to some extent it is, it's still in its sort of planning economy that you have a 5-year plan and this and that everything, and the government helps you and supports you. Doesn't work, right? It's the private economy. You pushed out the private player to get the government involved. That's what the AFF and the Supreme Court of India have done, right? You've pushed out Reliance, right or wrong. Again, to me, nobody else would want to do it, right? You know, um, so let's wait and see what's happened. We will have to wait and see. Is Inter Kashi playing in Kalyani or somewhere else as they're now in ISL? Mank, if they are playing home, again, there is this unclear point. Is Inter Kashi, or like, again, same about Mohammedan Sporting, that they might be willing to play all their matches away uh, from a I reduce my costs angle. Um, that and if they play home matches, then it most probably would be Kolani with another um, um, option being the Barasat Stadium. So again, let's wait and see. But they will play in and around Kolkata because again, they've just announced their stadium plans in Kashi last week, and it will be interesting to see how long that takes. Do you know Fancode is interested in broadcasting? I said thanks for patiently answering all the questions. Welcome, Narendra. No, Fancode was interested originally in the first tendering process, and then are they still interested? Nobody knows, right? Fancode will take a finished product. You know. The league stage going to end by May 15th. Why till May last? So players get more time to recover. No, Mahesh, it gets hot in India. Right? In May, India will be scorching. So therefore, the logic is to finish the league in mid-May. To me, the problem is we've got 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. kickoffs. I think, again, I know from a fan perspective it's a disaster. I think in May you need to push the matches a little later in the day. I think you need to have the matches kicking off at 6 and at 8:30. But again, yeah, who am I to say that? When can we expect the fixtures release? Prasad, I think in the next couple of days is what the AIFF has said. And then, so yeah, let's wait and see what comes out and when it comes out, what comes out, right? So therefore, there's a lot of talk, chatter, there's that, everything, but we'll have to wait and see when it comes out and whatever it comes out. I may get hit for this, but the quality won't be the same without FSL professionalism. Of course, Mike. Again, at least on this channel, I think most of the people. So for me, again, can we even get to the I-League level with what is being planned at the moment? So therefore, the quality is going to be a question, and I think nobody cares about quality at the moment. It's about just the league happening. It will be a jumbled up thing. You will realize it from match day one when you see two different venues, you will see, okay, there is a standard here and there is no standard somewhere else. And that is something which will be very interesting to see how that comes together. I think that's a big challenge for the league. Name of league, if it happens, ISL or any other name. At the moment, it is it's ISL. It's the it's the Indian Super League. What about the ads that comes in on TV between halftime? Does AIFF get any cut? No, that's for the broadcaster. That if we're talking about Kalyani Stadium in ISL already shows how drastic standards are dropping, would be unbelievable 2 years back. Blue, it would have been unbelievable last summer. Forget 2 years. 7, 8 months back. If someone had said you will play Indian Super League matches in Kolani, they will say no, thank you. No, never. Right? It was never an option. We're talking Kolani and we're talking about Barasat. Think about where we've gone, right? So, yeah. So these are some of the realities that we are in at this moment in time of where our football is today. And that's the crazy part. It is insane to think where we've wandered over the last, over the last few months. Yeah. So we keep blaming finances, but I'm sure there are lots of countries in top 100 with less investment in sports compared to that. Comical Lama, yeah, I agree. But again, in India, the costs are not low, you know? And so therefore, for me, the comparison doesn't work, right? Because a lot of countries are not, even in Argentina or Brazil or maybe, some of the other South American countries, your costings are lower than in India. So that's also a reality. It will be I-League level, but we should be happy at least league is happening. Utsav, I don't even know if it will be I-League level. Again, the I-League will be not be I-League level. Uh, uh, um, so therefore, you know, um, yeah. So Amal has good relationship with BJP government, even they were sponsors of SLK. Mahesh, again, your logic of, oh, you know what, they have a relationship, oh, they've sponsored this, that why. Someone said the other, oh, Adani was sponsor of SLK of a certain club. Listen, it doesn't work that way. Have you seen that the support is there? No, it's not. So therefore, nice thought. Again, you guys are putting a lot of brain into it, your brain matter into these things, but the world doesn't work that way. Sorry. We'll do a podcast with one of the CEOs of a club soon. Yes, Mayank, I actually plan to speak to a few people. Actually, we had planned something over the last week, but then with the uncertainty, all these guys, even some of the players, and then Preetham was the only one. Parasat hasn't been used for after innovation, I think. I don't. Was it used for CFL? I don't even know if it was used for the CFL or not. But no, at top level, it hasn't been for years. Some weird people will make some random things, ignoring everything else, glorifying not having evidence, still running the league. Can see this. Yeah. Blue, that's going to happen. Right. And AIFF this. And look at the way Kalyan Chaubey stood there with the Coca-Cola thing on the weekend. He's like, oh, yeah, we did this huge thing. He's like, no, Coca-Cola's doing CSR. There is no commercial figure has come out in regard to. First, you said Coca-Cola generally women's football, and then it came to, oh, they're supporting only under 17s. So we know that, I know what a potential figure that is. So this thing. Sir, have you been at Bangalore Football Stadium, which is near Garuda Mall? It has artificial turf. When VUC was in I-League, they used to play there. Yes. I've been there a few times over the years. Yes, I've been there, and even, teams involved in, we've played matches there. If Mohammedan Sporting and Takashi is playing all matches away, does that mean they don't have to organize away matches? Any matches? Yes. Prasad, I think that's an idea that's being there. But again, let's wait and see what the league says, right? Again, Mohammedan has an internal financial issue. My question would be, how can the AIFF allow them to play if they don't pay them the fee? Because then they're not going to get it. So let's see. For me, I think we have no passionate leaders leading our football. Our players and fans are passionate. Yeah, could be said. Kalyani Stadium is pathetic. We guys are doing their I-League. In my point of view, it's not even I-League level. Forget I said. Yeah, it can be discussed. Even though if I see the teams who've used the stadium, the pitch is decent. Dressing rooms, of course, are a disaster, and facilities for fans are non-existent. But again, get better grounds. Where will you get in and around Kolkata a ground? And of course, the fees are relatively low compared to, we're talking about lakhs for renting one of the other stadiums in and around Kolkata. And that is, we're talking about, in tens of thousands. So let's see. What are chances of Kalyan Chowdhury will like next time any new contenders for president? Narendra, I don't want to talk about the next election because again there is a lot of time to go. So therefore for me, very difficult. If Kalyan will come or go, or someone else will come or go, no idea. I wonder how many companies will be responsive to clubs considering the lack of commercial partner, no long-term plans, and the low-quality broadcast. Man, most of the clubs are struggling with sponsors as well locally, right? Your biggest problem is that the betting companies are out of the equation, right? That was a big chunk of your money coming into the Indian football ecosystem. Uh, you know, um, so therefore, yeah, realities of things. Some guys are already saying more game time for Indians, etc. Player people are chronically blind and deaf for the hate for to us as the Indian football system, which is crazy. Blue, this is ignorant, and these people who should not be even calling themselves fans. Sorry, if you guys do not value the contribution by someone is made, if you like them or not, and then you support people who are actually harming Indian football, that to me is a no go. ISL I League will clash on the same time. Mahesh, I have no idea because I don't know what when the I League will be played. But Mountain Sporting don't have money to pay salaries for get 1 crore. Raj, but they're in, right? And it's never been a discussion because I know Kalyan Chobe cannot afford with the Bengal elections coming up to say, you know what, Mohammed Sporting, you're out. Because then the whole, you know, religion card, Muslim card, this and that, and all of that will be played. You know, it enrages me to see incompetent AIFF trying to show that Coca-Cola deal is because of them. Yeah, Mike, listen, the deal is because again, very simple. Why did the deal happen? Yeah, and because the FIFA World Cup trophy tour powered by Coca-Cola came to India, and in a lot of countries they leave a CSR project behind. The CSR project for Coca-Cola India, under 17 women support. Bas khatam. Nothing more, nothing less. If Kalyani Stadium is ready, then I'm asking why Naihati isn't. It is relatively new. Kalyani even closer to Kolkata. Raj, again, I don't know. Naihati is, I think, a lot costlier than Kalyani in regard to rent. Sir, in hockey, since the board and private players were not supporting, Odisha state took over the sponsorship and everything. Due to this, India has become a force even in Olympics. Yeah, comical Nama on one side, yes, but Hockey India League, again, used to happen in Odisha. This year is happening in Chennai, is a complete disaster. So even club level or franchise level hockey is a failure in India at the moment. Now the centralized slash zonal format makes more sense. So many games get a dart of pitches. Yeah, Simon, it is. The problem is if you most of the grounds have not been properly maintained in April, which in itself is a crime, right? And even those who have been maintained badly, right? Uh, so that's the reality. Bangalore tied up with local bars and restaurants as sponsors. I fail to understand why no one wants to sponsor national team. What's up? Yeah, but they don't. Why? That's a different question. Who has broadcasted a FIFA World Cup in India? Avi, no one. Broadcasting rights of the FIFA World Cup till now, as I speak to you, have not been sold in India. Kerala Blasters are the ones that said they will lose 30, 40 crore if played in the centralized venue. Now they're changing Kochi. Prasad, Kochi, due to this whole Argentina game which was supposed to happen, and this, what is it, reporter TV guys took it over and wanted to renovate, and I think they left the stadium more damaged than developed. That's why it's the mess it is in, right? So therefore, these are things which, again, welcome to Indian football. Some of the things are just not logical, but they are the way they are. And yeah, we have to think about what's going to be the next step. For to me, let's see. Is Salt Lake Stadium recovered? Blue, good question. I don't think so. I think that if they, East Bengal, Mohun play at the Salt Lake Stadium, I think the lower rung might not be opened. They might open the second and the third tier. Might be. I don't know. Right. And then you've got elections coming up. There's that, everything. There's a lot of mess, right? Salt Lake Stadium isn't ready. Where will East Bengal? They Kolkata, Salt Lake Stadium, right? And Mohun Bagan supposedly has said that Kishore Bharati is their B option. Quality and game time. My look at number of games we'll be having in the first place, and then take the whole season to get it. Yeah, Simon. Problem is at the moment it is, doing something for the sake of doing it, and it again because of that it will be bad. compared to what we had. You know. Therefore, we are stuck where we're stuck. We are in a very uh, complex situation with our league, right? And therefore, um, again, one side, yeah, it's good, it's happening, but again, is it good enough to happen? I don't know. So once upon a time, Nike was a kid sponsor. Do you know why they left? It's because people don't want to buy original shirts. Yeah, they don't want to buy originals. They saw no value in the long run. Before that, we had Adidas. So again, those guys don't see value in us. So yeah, why would they come, right? We have gone from Nike 656. I love their designs, love their quality. So therefore, for me. And then we had now had Performax, and let's see if in the AIFF bidding anyone comes forward or not. Three clubs can't have same venue, so only Kalyani is left. Yeah, yeah. Again, if Noihati is not an option, Barasat not an option, it is. But as I say, Raj, Inter Kashi supposedly has said in its letter or mail yesterday that they are fine playing all their matches away. I don't see this getting any better. Can they ever sort themselves out post May? No. Simon, we need a new AIFF. As long as this AIFF keeps on running things, things will remain the same. Right? That's our problem is this AIFF cannot run it. Right. And so let's see. So therefore, it will be interesting to see how they run this whole baby. It's a challenge. It's an interesting challenge. And again, if AIFF and clubs allow whoever is going to be part of the governing council of the managing committee, you have to have one or two voices who are critical of things. Hopefully, they get the right people on board to give them the right piece of advice, saying, "Hey guys, this. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess." Right, 1 hour 42 minutes. Quick reminder on this live: if you haven't liked, share, and subscribe Arunfoot here on YouTube. 23 likes so far, guys. Thanks a lot for that, as always. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and we're at 3,703 at the moment. Thanks a lot. And do watch the short videos, which I do on a daily basis. I've been saying this in the last few days. Yeah, the numbers are not too good. So therefore, guys, do support it as well. Thanks a lot, as always. So Keras Ismit lost 30-40 crore. When will they recover this? Never mind. They've been losing money since day one for the last 11 years. By the way, ex-Monma president, I don't even know, Tutu Bose is called for SIR hearing. A member of Monma and TMC leader called respect to all footballers in India. They think they are big. Yeah. Blue, nothing to say. The stadium Punjab played in Delhi is a big stadium, right? Doesn't have high costs. Prasad, yeah, but again, they didn't have any other alternatives, so they had to play in Delhi, no? Sir, in your view, how is the football ecosystem in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh? Is there any football culture like Kolkata, Goa? Utsav, about football culture in Andhra or Tamil Nadu, I can't say enough because I don't know enough about it. I know that there are pockets in Andhra and Tamil Nadu where football is very popular, but is it similar to Kolkata and Goa? Again, is it Kolkata, Goa? Is it, even that can't be compared. So that's always a difficult question to ask. How's the football culture in A or in B or in C? Because yeah, it's always different from state to state, or forget state to state. It's sometimes different from district to district, right? So those are some of those things. Right, 1 hour 44 minutes. Try to answer all your queries, all your questions tonight. Anything more you want to know and add? Again, once more, let's see what comes out from the AIFF in regard to so the AIFF will be governed by a governing council and a management committee. So let me see what has now come out. So it's intended, it's supposedly on representation. Okay, the ISL governance pyramid is going to be AIFF, ISL Governing Council, which have 22 members, and the ISL Management Committee have 11 members. The ISL Governing Council will include the President / Secretary General of the AIFF, Vice President and Treasurer of the AIFF, two independent members with no commercial partnership with the AIFF, when one of them will nominated by the AIFF and the other by the clubs. The Federation President or Vice President will serve as the chairperson of the committee. Okay. So interesting. ISL Governing Council, President or Secretary General will be part of it. So, yeah. So that is it. Ultimately taking a single mandate up, 22 members, okay. And the two independent members with no commercial partnership with AIFF, one will be appointed by the AIFF, the other by the clubs. Interesting. The management committee will work like a local organizing committee under the supervision of the governing council for the league, running all its daily operations. The following are the board dominations: operational and management, regulatory compliance, compliance monitoring, stakeholder management, sponsorship management, financial management, delegation, through subcommittees. And this will be headed either by the Secretary General or Deputy Secretary General, with two more federation members, head of competitions and head of strategy. And they might appoint other people for two offices, okay. 5 will be clubs and 3 for the commercial partners. 5 representatives, 3 will be mutually selected by the majority of the clubs. The 2 will be from the finishing the top 2, okay. So the top teams will be in it. In case 3 members, no club should have a management committee for 2 terms. And it's okay. So this is what the AIFF has now come out with. Interesting to see. When will we see the national team again? We'll have to watch Khalid Jamil. March. Our final match in the AFC Asian Cup 2027 final round qualifier, we will host Hong Kong in March. So that will be the next time. I mean, when I visit Goa, people look really enthusiastic about football. I see them wearing FC Goa shirt, people playing at the beach every day. Yeah, Utsav, again, nice to have that. But again, is that really a proof of football culture or not? You know, some people will debate that, because what you're saying in a lot of footballing places will be a very, very normal thing. So therefore, again, very difficult. Again, and I've not been to all, I've been to a lot of parts of India, but I've not been to all corners in depth to really know what the football culture is, and I have to be honest about it. As I always say, honesty, I think, is a big thing. Right, with that, slowly we'll come to an end of this live on this Tuesday evening. It's the 13th of January. Things seem to be moving in a certain direction. Let's hope that the right steps are taken. And once more, please like, share, and subscribe Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com. And do remember to watch the short content as well. Like it, hype it. I need your support. And if you want to become a member of the Arunfoot family, also you can do that as well. And yeah, please, please, please keep on supporting. And without your support, we can't move forward here. Thanks a lot and good night.